Morocco just became the latest battleground in what's becoming a global pattern. It keeps happening. Gen Z, or the youth, is done waiting for change in Morocco and many other countries. And they're taking to the streets in numbers that haven't been seen in, well, ever actually. Cities from Rabat, the capital, to Casablanca, Marrakesh, Tangier, they're erupting with youth led protests. And the government's response? Force, arrest, silence, in terms of actually addressing the grievances. By and large, don't address the situation, just try and crack down and shut the people up. But here's what you need to understand about what's really happening, what's scratching below the surface. Quite recently, reports say 8 women died during childbirth at a public hospital in Agadir. Agadir is a lovely, I am told, I haven't been there, is a lovely coastal settlement um, known for its tourism, right? Now, 8 mothers could have been saved with proper healthcare in Morocco, and this was the sort of the spark that triggered the fire, right? Can't have proper healthcare, right? Sorry, Morocco's government has already allocated billions to stadiums for the 2030 FIFA World Cup. Can't afford, hospitals. It is what it is, right? Now that's the allocation, that's the prioritization of the state. You can criticize it, you can defend the state, whatever. I'm just reporting to you what the grievances are of the people currently protesting. Now, these youth are off their rockers, some would say, completely unreasonable, absolutely insane demands. What kind of demands are they demanding? Check this one out. Quote, "We want hospitals, not stadiums," end quote. Oh, wait, that sounds quite reasonable, actually. So, you see, this isn't just about football. This isn't even mainly about football. It's arguably not at all about sports in general. Like we've seen with Gen Z protests in other parts of the world too, the youth often want something quite reasonable, something quite common sense when you actually hear them out, something which eludes governments because of corruption and people in power set in their ways. The older generation not wanting to change, not wanting to take risks, not wanting to implement new things, and the youth pushing back against that. This is how it's always done, the elders say. This is how it has to be, they say. But the youth of a nation, what the flip is a nation? This is what happens when you when you do one takes, no edits. The youth of a nation come along and say, if it's always been done rubbish, bruv, let's change it. How about that? That's not quite, well, it is revolutionary thinking, actually. That's how things change. Morocco's youth unemployment, as an example, sits above, I've read from some records, 35%. Flipping heck. Schools are failing. Hospitals are crumbling. Example, case in point, 9 women who recently lost their lives during childbirth that could have been saved. And while young people struggle to find jobs and survive, and their public services, relatively speaking, are trash, their government prioritizes international prestige, or attempt to acquire international prestige through hosting, the FIFA World Cup or some component of it. I think the 2030 World Cup will also be held in Spain and Portugal, so in that geographic area, because just south of Spain and Portugal is where Morocco is. Now, groups like Gen Z 212 and Morocco Youth Voice are coordinating, get this, through TikTok. I mean, that's where you're probably watching this. Through TikTok and Instagram, they are coordinating. They're staying decentralized and anonymous to avoid crackdowns. You can't really target the leaders when the leaders are, some guy with a picture of a Dogecoin or some meme as their emoji, and they're sort of coordinating things on flipping TikTok. And it's working. For better or worse, I'm just informing you what's going on. We, of course, hope that instability doesn't lead to loss of life or the collapse of civil order in Morocco or any country. Now, if you want to beat the establishment, largely composed of less internet savvy elders, turns out just coordinate on platforms that leave them confused and befuddled. I mean, TikTok for a 50-year-old, 60-year-old might not be as intuitive as TikTok for a 20-year-old. Protests have spread to at least 9 cities, and that's saying something for Morocco. It's not particularly densely populated, right? It straddles the Sahara. Most of its population live on the coast of North Africa. Agadir, for example, is on the Atlantic coast. Now, even football supporters are boycotting matches in solidarity with the protests. But security forces aren't backing down either. Dozens of youth have been arrested, and protesters face court charges simply for demanding healthcare, and education. This is part of something bigger, though. If we zoom out of Morocco, this is a sort of Arab Spring type thing that's not Arab at all. It's global, and it's definitely something. From Kenya to Bangladesh, from Sri Lanka now to Morocco. Of course, we saw Nepal, we saw Indonesia with their anime pirate flag fluttering in the flipping breeze, the Philippines, right? Worldwide, Generation Z or Z, I don't know. Gen Z sounds catchier, but I'm not American. We say Z here in the UK. Anyway, Gen Z or the youth are showing decreasing tolerance for poor governance by their assessment, poor governance. They're not asking anymore politely, they're demanding, often by forceful protest. And governments everywhere are being forced to pay attention and take action, sometimes compromising, sometimes trying to reach out and negotiate, and sometimes through brutal crackdown. Now, many would say the individuals of the newer generation feel they have nothing to lose, even though they do. Everyone has something to lose. But the newer generation seem to feel a lot across the globe to a large extent that they have nothing to lose or very little to lose and everything to fight for. And when the demands are common sense and shared online where things can resonate and then go viral, well, it's easy to see why people are getting riled up so quickly, why the causes are becoming so effective in spreading themselves and mobilizing the people. We need hospitals, not stadiums, after all, is a sensible, call to action. It's a sensible prioritization. Now, the question isn't if Gen Z movements like this will spread further. The question is, where next? It's almost guaranteed to pop up somewhere else very soon. And in the case of Morocco, how will the government handle it? One wrong move, and the government could be toppled, like in Bangladesh or Nepal. Time will tell, as it always does, and I'll be here to report to you the news and the analysis unbiased and without the Western spin. Don't forget to tune in for my live if you want to see me meandering and stumbling over my own words and failing my fake British accent live in real time, right? Not recorded, even though these are one take, unedited videos by and large. So you get to see that anyway. But you can at least send me a message, and if I'm somewhat on the ball, I can maybe respond. So, and it's not a fake British accent, by the way. I just speak like this. It's a bit British, it's a bit Indian, it's a bit, yeah, it's a mix, huh? I'm not even from India. I'll see you on the next one. Sorry.